Very lovely afternoon. Welcome all of you to Game Plan on 99.7 Joy FM, hits 103.9 FM. My name is Fenty Osahiru Fenty. We're on from now till 3 p.m. discussing the very best from the world of sports, and there's been quite a lot to look back on this week. Otuado has named a 23-man squad for the World Cup qualifiers against Chad and Madagascar. The Chad game is next Friday, exactly a week from now. Ghana have 9 points from 4 matches, and they cannot afford to drop any more points in this qualifying series. Thomas Partey has made a return to the squad. Last time he was in Ghana's squad was back in September. I saw a headline. Somebody said, "Inform Andre, are you snapped?" But there's a new boys. So we'll go through that list. Asafo's goalkeeper, Benjamin Asare, he has been named in the squad as one of the goalkeepers, and we will see whether he actually gets to play, but good for him. Kamaradini Mahmoudou, also of Mediama Sporting Club, has also been named in the squad. So that's two local players that have made it to this particular squad. And then Razak Simpson, of course, who put up very good performances in the last qualifying round. He is back in the team, rewarded for that last showing. So that's what it is. Christopher Bonsuba, he plays for Genk. He's also in the team. He gets a debut call-up. He's a striker. We'll tell you what you can expect from him as well. The rest of the squad picks itself. Lawrence Atizigi, Joseph Wallacott, Benjamin Asari are the goalkeepers. The defenders are Gideon Mensah, Ebenezer Anand, Mohamed Salisu, Jerome Opoku, Alexander Jiku, Jonas Ajete, Razak Simpson, Kingsley Schindler, and Kamaradini Mahmoudou. The midfielders looks a little light over there. Thomas Partey, Elisha Owusu, Abu Francis, Kudus Mohammed, and Enes Nyoma. That is it. And then Antoine Semenyo, Kamal Dean Suleimana, Jordan Ayew, Jerry Efriye, Naki Williams, and Christopher Bonsuba are the attackers. The EFA also thought it wise to release a second list of players that they say are injured. And they did a whole story about the injured players. And the injured players are quite a lot. There's a long list of injured players in there. They've also released the team schedule. I'll go through the injured players list very shortly. But they're starting camping on Monday, March 17. And they'll train at the Accra Sports Stadium. On Tuesday, they'll train at the Accra Sports Stadium. That training is open to the public and it's at 5:30 p.m. No more training behind closed doors, apparently. So everyone listening to me on Tuesday, go to the Accra Sports Stadium and watch the team train. It's open to the public. The Monday training is also open to the public. I doubt they will have a full squad on that day. But Tuesday looks like they will have a full complement of a team. Wednesday is not open to the public. And so those 2 days open to the public are both 5 p.m. Monday is 5 p.m. Tuesday is 5:30 p.m. And that's when the training will be open to the public. Wednesday is not open to the public, but they will train at 5 p.m. at the same venue. They will do a press conference on Thursday at the Accra Stadium at 4:50 p.m. Then they will train after that at 5 p.m. The first 15 minutes of the training will be open to the media as well. And then Friday is match day, Ghana versus Chad. They've not indicated a kickoff time, which is a little weird. But I think we will see when that match will be played. Now, hold on. I think I just have an idea when it will be played. That's the time that the opposing team will train is the kickoff time, not the Ghana training time. So that's usually how it works. So, but I've got the kickoff time here. It's at 7 p.m. It's at 7 p.m. That's what's been indicated here, pending any further changes. So, Otuado looks like he's a completely different person now. The FA look like they are they are open to being friendly and being relatable and what have you. So we'll see. But also, listen. Yesterday we held a very important conversation on National Sports Dialogue. Joy Sports hosted some very accomplished individuals, and they spoke bravely and very astutely, if you like, about some of the issues that we face in our sport, with some very transformative ideas about how we can take our sports to the next level. Ten Vernon, also, of course, Anthony Baffo, Dr. Frank Apia-Kusi, and then Magnus Rex Dankwa, all very accomplished individuals who shared some brilliant ideas about how we can move our sport forward. We will play back some of those presentations for you on the show. And then also we will end the show with whether or not his left foot touched the ball. Julian Alvarez, one of the most controversial moments in Champions League history. Real Madrid through to the quarterfinals. They will face Arsenal, but it's not been without controversy. Atletico Madrid are furious. The general public fuming, and UEFA have been forced to release a statement and video evidence. And even for their own video evidence, it still looks like it did not, or he barely did. But the bigger question is, should accidental, unintentional, microscopic movements like this decide the biggest of games? Or should the law be changed? So that's a conversation we will have. The guys are here. Sicho Philip Atrim, Daniel Cranton, Chutamaklo, and Mufta Nabila Abdullah. Show proudly brought to you by Petrosol Platinum Energy, energizing dreams, and Betway gets way more. Guys, welcome to the show.
Record time. A new record time. 17 minutes, 12 seconds.
Aye.
Solid.
What's that?
Solid.
What's that?
But wait, too. Have people noticed one thing? It be like today ventures into the energy no day like the previous one.
Yeah.
Energy no day, but the dragging day.
Energy no day.
The dragon be constant.
What happened to the energy? What happened to the energy?
Bro, the Ramadan is showing me shaking. This one I will not lie. I will not lie. I will not lie.
You did like chop too much.
You did to show me something.
By day 20, your head go day like it won't fall from your neck.
Listen, we've got a lot to go through, guys. What I want to do is play back some of the highlights from the show. But Sicho, you were there. Talk to me about some of the things. Like, not talk to me. Just give me your impressions about what you saw yesterday. You are clapping, man. Clap.
You know say fancy food. You know say fancy food. You know say fancy food.
As if you know they there.
Make I show you something. Fancy. If they give out fans, where you know one show say they like the fans, he gets some smile they give.
And you go smile and you go look away.
Some rhetorical question. You know, he say you are clapping. Why you can't hear that you are clapping?
And then you stop making eye contact.
We are not clapping. You know what we are doing? We are not clapping. We are digging cassava.
Sure.
Joy Sports team, kudos to you guys. That was incredible. It was amazing, really. And there's having the idea and there's having the execution. So the people you picked to come and deal with specific issues that were key and the bedrock of what every serious sporting nation would want to do, where then their deliveries were spot on. When you have the sector minister himself also then seated to engage with people who matter, that in itself is a start of it. I hope that from here we have a report for the program and dialogue, which can then be presented to the sector minister, and then if he likes it, and I'll stand if he doesn't, he can act on it, invite a lot more of people to consult and get on with it. But I thought anybody who saw the Joy Sports dialogue, it was amazing. The only downside is that who didn't turn up. But we move on as a country, and look, guys, well done. I really did enjoy listening to the brilliant things that Tom himself took us through. Tony Baffo's experience, and everybody who came through. Frank you know, the lecturer at University of Health and Allied Science. Who else? Who else?
Rex Dankwa.
Rex Dankwa. I mean, everybody was so spot on. And so, yeah, this is the kind of conversations that we need to start having. And after having them, we need to start acting. And I'm happy the minister himself said that hopefully it is less talk and then more work. And now that the talk has been done, I hope that the work continues, picks up from there. So, yeah, kudos to the Joy Sports editor and the Joy Sports team. Massive work.
Another round of applause.
Yeah.
Who didn't tell? He said we know who didn't tell. Who didn't tell?
Oh, the GFA.
The GFA.
You know.
They were invited.
And this one, it looked like somehow people were under the impression that we didn't invite them.
Oh, how?
Yeah.
But people
That's what people
always
were
have that
asking on
impression.
Twitter.
We did the GPL fielder stance. They didn't come. We did this one. They didn't come. This one, we can't force them to come.
No, they have the men. They don't need.
Listen, Sicho alluded to the brilliant presentations from all of our guests. Listen, if you missed yesterday, thankfully you have game plan. We're going to give you highlights of some of the things that they spoke about. All right? Sicho and Daniel, behave, okay? The two of you, please behave. You are distracting me.
I'll just put on my mics.
No.
I don't know where it is.
Even if I put your microphones off, I can still
There's eye contact.
Hear what you are saying. Let me tell you what you are saying.
No.
So like
This is serious business.
Oh, she.
Okay, pay attention to what I'm saying and give me eye contact.
No, I thank you. Today you have a problem. It be like your breath, no, you know they come. It be like you want to talk, then you know they...
All right, listen. Thankfully, you have us a game plan. So we are going to give you some of the highlights of some of the things that they spoke about. One of the most important things Tom spoke about yesterday was how we can transform Ghana's economy from being a natural resource-based economy to a talent-based economy. And he spoke about how we can do this as a country. Because Tom Vernon, no one knows how to maximize talent from this country more than him. He's come to Ghana and he's developed one of the most prestigious football academies, not just in Africa, but in the whole world. And he did it right here in Ghana. And he says he has ideas about how the country can do this on a national scale and benefit monumentally from this. How do we do this in a very uniform and policy-driven manner? This is what he said.
The starting point is to develop a national talent identification strategy, but also a global talent identification strategy. You know, we lose a lot of our sons and daughters of Ghana to other countries' national teams. So we need to start with the identification of our youth. But beyond that, I believe that we can be much more proactive in recruiting the most talented Ghanaians in the diaspora. Secondly is to establish a public-private partnership, talent development free zone, or as in America, you might call it an opportunity zone. These are tax incentivized regions of the country. We know this very well in the sector with our free zones within Ghana, but I think there's the potential for a talent free zone or a talent opportunity zone that can actually make investment into Ghana talent much more compelling from a tax incentives perspective. And then thirdly, to establish a public-private partnership for a national sports and entertainment hub. The minister mentioned some of the most exciting countries, but another that has really excelled in entertainment in sports in Africa in the last few years is Rwanda, where we've seen so many of the best sports events on the continent going to a country which has no reputation until very recently within sports. So I think a hub for sports entertainment is also very possible. So if we talk about talent ID and development, how would I approach that? Through the formation of the Talent Identification and Development Corporation that would remain firmly in control of the government of Ghana, you would define the national framework, as the minister mentioned, through which all talent identification and development partnerships would be operated. And this, I think, is a crucial point, because when people talk about attracting investment into Ghana sports, if we take football specifically, we haven't struggled to attract investment. We've struggled to retain it. Ajax, Feyenoord, and Red Bull combined probably invested 100 million euros into their academies in Ghana, and they've all left. And one of the reasons that they've left is because there was no coherent national framework for them to plug into. So they came and did their own thing with very little advice, with very little guidance and support, and as a result, we've lost them, and they could have been significant contributors to the national agenda. My starting point would be through artificial intelligence solutions, which I believe should be embraced very quickly within talent identification, is to assess the individual talents of each of Ghana's 800,000 12-year-olds today. You know, we have a role model in China, I think, here, that when they got the Olympics in 2008, started a national talent identification many years before to assess the individual talent of every child in China. And I think it's quite feasible for us to do the same. And then I would propose that the best 800 across a multi-sport solution come into a Ghana talent-free zone, a Ghana talent opportunity zone that has multiple incentive structures for local and foreign partners to invest into this free zone, to develop the 800 best each year that we've identified through a national talent identification model. And then I think one of the big commercial opportunities for us is if we are identifying, if we are trialing all of Ghana's 12-year-olds every year, how do we retain communication with those 800,000 children? At the moment, Facebook retained that communication, and Facebook derive all the revenues from communication with our children in Ghana. If we scout our kids in Ghana, why don't we retain communication with them and own our own digital assets that can communicate and develop our children, rather than allowing that conversation?
All right, so that's aspects of Tom Vernon's conversation there. Now, he wasn't the only one, who shared some brilliant ideas. Now, he also spoke about one of the issues that Ghana has faced and why a lot of top corporations do not necessarily stay in Ghana. So why did the likes of Feyenoord, Red Bull, Ajax, why did they all establish in Ghana at one point and leave at another point? Why didn't they stay? Now, he was in Ghana around the time that these companies or institutions were operating academies in the country. So why is the environment not deemed friendly or sustainable enough for them to stay? This is what Tom said is the problem.
If Right to Dream, with its limited resources, can start stepping into those quantums of money that as a national strategy is very easy within a short period of time to achieve those types of returns. So what do I see? I think that the starting point is to develop a national talent identification strategy, but also a global talent identification strategy. You know, we lose a lot of our sons and daughters of Ghana to national.
Okay, playing back the same thing that I played before, but I'll get that particular one for you. I think I've got it here. What I introduced earlier.
So our revenues would be, as I mentioned before, to commercialize the data of our children. As we scout them and retain them within our networks, we can commercialize that data like Facebook or Amazon, and that can flow back in and return and make returns for our investors. Each of our graduating classes can drive direct revenues into Ghana. By my estimations, we would have about $100 million a year in direct revenues from graduates from the program, if I look at the Right to Dream model, and retain full or part ownership of IP, economic, and image rights for the long term. That's one of the most important things I see within this. Right to Dream today, when our players transfer around Europe, we're still realizing hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars every year in the solidarity fees that come. So I think keeping control of IP, economic, and image rights of Ghana's children for the long term can really be a source of revenue for this. And then this is one stat that I love. After Usain Bolt won a gold medal at the Olympics, generally bookings to Jamaica increased by 19%. So these are real, not pie in the sky numbers. And the fact is that Jamaica has much bigger crime problems than we have in Ghana. We don't have it. We're a safe, peaceful country, but that one ambassador can really transform the broader economy. And I'm talking about our 800 most talented children every year coming into our campus. So we can do Usain Bolt times 100, which can have billion-dollar impacts on our economy from a broader perspective. And then, as we all know, there's nothing like the soft power and leverage that comes from performing in sport. And that may ultimately be the biggest return on investment that's slightly harder to gauge. That's the development phase. In the entertainment phase, I would replicate the model. I would create an investor-friendly national framework, has been done in Rwanda. We've recently invested in the MLS, which is an investor-friendly framework. We don't have those investor-friendly frameworks at the moment in place in much of Ghana sports. So I would build the entertainment hub. As people can see, I'm a fan of Akosombo. I would put it there as well. I think it's a beautiful place with Senchi and the other hotels to combine going to watch sports, but also to relax and enjoy and be away for the weekend. So, and from that, I would establish our own local and international franchises that compete there, our own BAL franchise and so on, but also from there buy our own clubs and our own sports franchises outside as well, so that our talent can go and compete under our name and generate our revenues. And then I would use that to attract in the Diamond League, the ATP, the WTA, the BAL, the NBA, Red Bull, Riyadh Season, boxing. I think the global market is desperate for African locations. When Lewis Hamilton took a holiday to Africa 2-3 years ago, he left saying, I'm going to make sure that Formula One comes to Africa. And now they're within a hair's breadth of going to Rwanda. And I used to sit in my local spot in Akosombo and tell people one day F1 should be here. And people thought we were completely mad. And maybe we still are in terms of where Ghana sports is today. But the fact is F1 is going to Rwanda, which is unimaginable. So if we put our hub together and we create the incentives, you know, it was a previous leader of your party, Minister, Professor Atta Mills, who said direct foreign investment knows no nationality. It goes where it's most welcome. So we just need to create that welcoming environment, because the appetite for sub-Saharan Africa to be on the global circuit for these sports is very strong.
Wow, wonderful, superb. Listen, the idea of creating an entertainment hub in Ghana and putting all the facilities there at one place, it's a no-brainer, an absolute no-brainer. And it's giving out the ideas for free and the Joy Sports National Dialogue. So imagine creating one like that somewhere in Akosombo with tennis courts, with basketball courts, an indoor mini stadium that can host ATP competitions, track that can host athletics competitions, and even the bigger dream could be building an F1 track over there. And Akosombo is perfect. The weather is amazing. The land is vast. The hotels are there. As he mentioned, Royal Senchi is there. A few more hotels can set up there. And you look at the Volta River cruises that happen around there, it would become massively attractive. But there has to be a national framework for where we want to go with our sports. To do something like this, heavy investment is required, even for conferencing. I think it's one thing that they didn't mention about Rwanda. That's one of the things, conferencing. Now FIFA does congresses there. F1 does congress there in Rwanda. All these entities and institutions are going to Rwanda because they've made the environment friendly. You know, there is, because in the Akosombo area, you put up a facility like this with proper management structures in place. There is no reason people would not come there for business. There's no reason ATP Tour would not come there. There's no reason we cannot host a Continental Tour Gold event in athletics. There's no reason that Arena cannot host a boxing world title fight. There's no reason it cannot host a BAL event. So, you know, he shared so many more ideas. It's on YouTube. Please find it on the Joy News channel. Just type in Tom Vennon's presentation at Joy Sports National Dialogue. You can find the whole presentation. Now, Tony Baffo also made massive suggestions about maximizing stadium infrastructure, because, you know, he's been working and he's coordinator over 150 events for CAF and FIFA. He's been to the very best of stadia, the very worst of stadia. And he made a compelling case for why we are underutilizing our stadium infrastructure. You know. So, let me play back some of what he said as well.
If I speak about crisis management, I don't think we think about crisis. One thing I've learned in Germany is always to think about the aftermath, positive or negative. In Germany, we always said before the game is after the game, and after the game is before the game. Sometimes when we come into the Accra Sports Stadium, we see the VIP, thousands of cars in front. So when there's an evacuation, it's going to be catastrophic. But in Ghana, we always say, "Ebeye, nyame wo," until really something happens. So these things really need to change. Stadium-specific infrastructure management. Every stadium, every pitch should have a dressing room. You go to certain pitches where we play, there's no dressing room, there's no washroom. And these things have to change. Decent parking areas for easy access, properly designed exits and entry gates for crowd control. There was an incident when the late Kotoko fan died, and we changed certain things. Now we are stricter, but sorry to say this, the rules and regulations have always been there. And for me, there are FIFA policies, there are CAF policies, but we should also have a tailor-made approach in regards to our venues. If you're in a 3,000-seater stadium, you should have at least 4 to 6 evacuation gates, entry gates. 5,000-seater, 6 to 8. 10,000 plus capacity, 10 and more gates with emergency exits. A tailor-made stadium evacuation can enhance the safety. Improve stadium security to limit unauthorized access.
All right, so that's Tony Baffo there as well. He says so much more on maximizing
This is Waterman Sports Complex. Unfortunately, I haven't been there, but I think it's very important to have this also in the picture as part of the infrastructure. This is a modern branded mini stadium. Why is it modern? You have LED boards, you have fantastic screens, you have great branding, and it looks very, very neat. I think the last time Chief Rex Dankwa is there, we had the pitch cover in our stadium, was the opening match in 2008. So for me, sorry, I don't understand this. We do so many activities on the respective pitches without covering them. A stadium is also there to generate revenue. Okay, if you have different events, cover the pitch. And if you elevate maybe the stage on the pitch a little bit for the grass to get air, you can have even boxing in the middle of the pitch. But these are the tools we need. These are the items we need to have in our stadium. Enhancing Ghana stadium facilities. I spoke already about the respective stadiums, But for me, this is very clear. Each stadium should have a well-functioning gym. We have an office inside Accra Sports Stadium. They used to have a gym over there. People come every day to walk, but you see, it's not even paved. If you create something like a track around 100 meters, 200 meters, 300 meters, the ministry is around. People come, they can walk, and they can also walk into a gym. And I believe that that will also create revenues. Hospitality area. We don't take hospitality serious. I think everybody who's sitting here has traveled outside. And when they come back from the World Cup, from the AFCON, just go beside the last African Cup of Nations. Proper hospitality is so important. So we should have a specialist also for the hospitality area. And then a sports stroke, a football museum, a hall of fame. They can do it on regional basis if you go to Cape Coast or Kumasi, but the big stadiums like, again, Kumasi and Accra, they should have everything in there. Because don't forget, Accra used to have a track. And people like Ignatius Gezia, Aziz Zakari, and so on, they were really impressing us in the stadium. So adequate, strong signage for all venues. Clearly marked gates and entry points. And most of all, which is very important, a VOC. We call it VOC, a Venue Operations Center. But I'll show you how a VOC looks like. I've given you 4 different samples of a VOC, of a Venue Operations Center, which is a must. You see, this is how you can discover what is happening inside and even outside the stadium. There was an incident in Swatremen, and if you had a proper Venue Operations Center, you could have even seen what happened outside. So this is very, very important. And it is not rocket science. Operation, staffing, and enhancement. What it entails and who should be in there. Operations and event coordination, staff coordination system, security, medical, stewards, emergency response plans, stadium maps, digital floor plans. I remember very well when I was, we call it a general coordinator, at the World Cup 2018 in Russia. One ball got lost within the fans. In the VOC, they saw exactly who got the ball. So they sent somebody in, and he brought the ball back. So you're always in control, and this is very, very important. The essential staffing, stadium operations manager, oversee the entire operation. Security, safety personnel. Security today is so important and is key. If you talk about security, our stadiums, everybody can enter. Just anyhow, everybody can enter. You don't know who the person is, anybody can enter. And these are things we really need to change if we really want to head a step forward. So,
all right. So, listen, Tony Bafo's presentation, wonderful things to learn from that as well. We've uploaded that full presentation. You can find it on YouTube on the Joy News channel as well. Just typing Anthony Bafo's full presentation on the National Sports Dialogue on maximizing stadium infrastructure in Ghana. And you will find all of it there for yourself. So, listen, and then there's Dr. Frank Appiah-Kusi's presentation on governance structures in our sport. And so many. Magnus Rex Dankwa also made a presentation on how we can build quality infrastructure and what have you. We had Mauku Afajinu also made a presentation. He's the executive vice president of the Africa Table Tennis Federation. Also made a presentation about how we can incorporate the recreation aspect of our sports or our sports and recreation ministry to create a long-lasting legacy and make meaningful impact in our communities. There were contributions from others, including the Director General of the Winneba Sports College, Mr. Ba Husseini, who spoke about the transformative ideas that they had for the place and how investing at the Winneba Sports College could be the turning point for our sports in terms of both personnel and even training of our sportsmen and girls. Farida Yakatul Idris, also from Africa Swimming and World Swimming, World Aquatics, let me put it that way, and Ghana Swimming, also spoke about the importance of having people with technical know-how on all the sporting disciplines at the NSA. And it's a massive problem. And she cited a very interesting example of how the sports ministry often likes to refer requests from the Swimming Federation to the National Sports Authority, who, she says, have no idea about anything swimming. So how does the NSA deal with issues of swimming when there's no single technical person with expertise on swimming?
If I want to start talking, I don't think we'll end it now.
Give us a bit of
You know,
Give us a
because
bit.
it seems swimming has been left solely to the federation. We hardly get any funding from the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
Which is now
yes,
Sports and
Ministry
Recreation.
of Sports and Recreation. Thank you. But within our small quarters, we are able to raise funds through our network, and then with the help of the International Federation, we get scholarship, especially when we got the hosting right for the African Games. I'm sure a lot of Ghanaians will think that, oh, Abeku, how did he get the medal? It was a deliberate preparation. I remember in 2020, when we were about to host the first African Junior and Senior Swimming Championship, Uncle Rex helped us a lot, you know, with regards to marketing and the rest. That was when we started. That was a year, I think a year before, in 2019, we got a scholarship for Abeku to go to Russia in Kazan. And after 1 year, Ghana got the first ever medal in swimming at the continental level. Abeku got 2 medals, even though he was injured. He had a shoulder problem. And he went back again. And in 2022, we went to the Commonwealth Games. The first, let me say, typically black person to go to the semi-finals at the Commonwealth Games.
Fending for themselves. They should have no place in our sport moving forward. So all of those you can find on the Joy News channel. We've uploaded them and you can go and check them out. Right now, though, you're listening to Game Plan on 99.7 Joy FM, also on Hits 103.9 FM. Show is sponsored by Petrosol Platinum Energy and Betway. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we're going straight to the Black Star squad. The guys have been itching to speak about all the issues surrounding the Black Star squad for the Chad and Madagascar games. We'll also get into all the controversy from the Champions League midweek matches. So a more exciting part of the show is still to come here on Game Plan. We'll be right back.
After hours of planning, Kwame and Yao placed a perfect multi-bet. A big win on United, and both teams to score in the London Derby. But Yawa, who could have picked Leicester over City? Or a high-scoring game at the London Stadium? But Kwame no dey shake. Unlike Yao, it dey bet plus Betway. And with Betway's Bet Saver, he can win even if his bet misses. On multiple losses, he can get back his bet and more. Bet Saver, exclusive to Betway. Get way more. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18.
Have you reserved your seat yet? Yes?
No?
Or you're waiting for last minute?
Well, let me tell you, the seats are running out very fast. And trust me, you cannot get this experience of a lifetime anywhere else at this rate. I'm talking about the Volta Adventure, organized by your radio for discerning listeners, Joy 99.7 FM, this Ghana month, from the 21st to the 23rd of March 2025.
With just 3,500 Ghana cedis, you will get to experience the Pando Zipline, the Tafi Atome Monkey Sanctuary, Mount Gemi, Amejokwe Waterfalls, and the Canopy Walk, among among others.
This will also include a 2-night stay at the plush Volta Serene Hotel with Bobobo experience, a variety of local dishes, nightclub sessions, and a movie night.
You will also have access to the game room at the Volta Serene Hotel and loads of other recreational facilities at the hotel.
That's not all. All patrons will cruise on the Dodi World with lunch and entertainment before we get back to Accra.
Remember that you will be refreshed on the journey with natural juices from the Kumfi. Woodin also has lots of fabrics to give away.
And every adventurer would be given branded Ghana Month t-shirts from Serene Insurance and other branded Joy FM souvenirs.
Yes, you heard right. It is only 3,500 Ghana cedis for everything.
All meals, accommodation, tours, and the entire experience. There are no hidden costs.
Sign up now by making payments via Momo to 0593 038 842. The Momo name is Daniel Boyfew. Kindly reference your full name and take a screenshot and send it to the same number after payment. Closing date for payment is 18th March 2025.
The Volta Adventure is brought to you by Joy FM in partnership with Joy Prime and Hits FM and sponsored by Woodin. Buy 3 clothes or 18 yards and get free fabrics. Vibe Ghana, Vibe Woodin. Serene Insurance, the new face of insurance. And the Kufi Fruits and Juices, nature's best healthy juice. The Volta Adventure. Experience it joyfully.
Are you ready to get way more chances to win with Betway? Every single day, you have the key to unlock 5 free spins on Mega Money Wheel, where you stand to win a massive 1 million Ghana cedis jackpot. All you need to do is to log in and take your spin. Exclusive to Betway. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet the responsible way. Betway. Get way more.
All right, welcome back. This is Game Plan on 99.7 Joy FM, Hits 103.9 FM. Show is sponsored by Patrosol Platinum Energy and Betway. Are you ready to get way more chances to win with Betway? Betway is saying that every single day you have the key to unlock 5 free spins on Mega Money Wheel, where you stand to win a massive 1 million Ghana City jackpot. So what are you waiting for? You can log into betway.com.gh today and take your spin. All thanks to Betway. Terms and conditions, of course, always apply. It's regulated by the Gaming Commission. Bet the responsible way. And for Petrosol, well, if you want to fill your tank and have your dreams energized, then look no further. Drive straight to Petrosol now. We are celebrating 10 years of excellence. The National Best Quality Awards winner, Petrosol, is rewarding you with the Energizing Dreams promo. 3 draws down now, 3 more to go. We are sharing tricycles, motorbikes, TVs, fridges, even fuel coupons. But the best part is there's 2 brand new Suzuki Espressos that are waiting for 2 lucky winners. So rush to your nearest Petrosol station, fill your tank with quality fuel in full quantity, and enter the draw. This is your chance to win big. The promo is going to end on the 31st of March. Petrosol Energizing Dreams, of course. Your thoughts on all the issues we've been talking about are welcome as well here on the show. Lots of you have been sending in your messages. Breaking news coming through. Swatraman say the league, they won't play again. Aziz Idugoro in Tema Community 1 side 10 says, this is a sports and lifestyle program. So my question goes to you all. With all things being equal, what in the world makes you happy? That's an interesting question. Sicho, what in the world makes you happy? Edie wants to know. Hold on.
There are plenty of things, not just one.
Yeah, like what? Example.
My wife makes me happy.
Quick.
She makes me super happy. I remember. I think two weeks ago, I went to bed late. Around 2 a.m. thereabout. I was doing my own session. I mean, I stay up.
What session?
I stay up. I game into like, midnight. Then I do my own prayer session. Then I go to bed. Now I'm going to bed. I turn on the lights in the room because she had turned it off, and she's beautifully sleeping. Beautifully, like. I stood there. And I was just so happy. Just see her sleep so peacefully. It makes me happy.
Hey.
And then I love my Bible.
Big shouts to Mrs.
Satrim Sicho. Mrs. Satrim Selassie. Karen. Yeah.
Wow, you're a pound.
Oh man, Ninije.
The last name is. Actually, you are not married. What makes you happy?
Money.
You don't have it. It means you've never been happy.
Charlie, the mother chopper too.
You're trying to tell me that I'm perpetually broke.
No, I'm done.
You are, you don't get money. His don't get money.
I did give him.
I said money makes me happy.
Hold on, actually. I'm sorry.
But that was a very foolish
Oh, God.
He's the reason you gave the very foolish response. You've asked me what makes me happy. I said money.
You've
When I get money.
He has never been happy.
So you that you are my friend. You that.
All right, okay, guys, let's get serious.
Oh, wait.
On hindsight, his
that
answer should have been, what is happiness?
Wait. You that you are my friend.
Guys, slow down. One at
When
a
was
time.
the last time you gave me money?
One at a time. Actually, please, DK, behave. Stop laughing, okay?
You want to say?
It's
You've
not
asked
funny.
me a question.
I said...
My answer is money.
Yes.
And you are saying that you know that I never have money. So
As
I'm
your
never,
friend, then
so I'm
it means that you have been perpetually unhappy.
Fair enough.
My
My question
you don't
to
have the money.
Yes. My question to you
He
is,
didn't mention an amount. He just said money.
wait, you that you are my friend, when was the last time you gave me money? Because you are saying
I'll
you
give
know
you money today.
now. The way
Come
it's
and collect.
necessary.
There you
Some
know.
2
There
KB.
you know. There
You
know.
see...
No. No, that one is working. It doesn't count.
All right, guys. Since you've known me, when have I ever put any of you on a fruitless venture?
Never.
Thank you very much.
You see, Sicho, I hate you for this. Sicho answered the question for you. He was coming to pull out the money. Then you answered the question for him.
He said he'll give you money.
I said I'll give
He
you
said
money
today.
today.
He started adjusting his seat.
Yes, I was repositioning my car key. I'm saying...
all you are doing is almost confirm what he's saying. No. Those who don't have money, when you tell them you give them money, they are harassing you.
You see
Those
the
who have
problem?
money, if you tell them you give you money, they'll be like, okay, Marty. Because he get though.
Now he's about to fight you
Yes.
for
For this-
what he believes was an act of stopping me from giving him money.
Bro,
poverty
not
is
what I
dangerous.
believe.
Actually, you're just giving yourself away. Oh.
Nothing like too much money. There is nothing like too much money.
All right, money makes you
a former
happy.
boss of
That's
mine-
that's a fair
A
question.
former boss of mine, you know him. He once said, "Get a lot of money, you know.
Yeah.
It fixes a lot of nonsense."
That's no
In that
fact.
tone.
Fact.
Yeah.
Fact. Look, what's the saying about money? That money is not everything, right? Yeah, like money doesn't solve every problem, but money is good.
Money answers all things. That one is
Yes,
biblical.
it's good. It's good. There's a famous quote from this Netflix series that I like very much. The one with the lady drug cartel queen.
Ozark.
What?
Is it Ozark?
No. It's Mexican drug cartel queen.
Queen of the South.
Yes,
Yeah, I've seen that.
Queen of the South. She says, "I've been poor and I've been rich. Trust me, rich is better."
Rich is better.
You know, so I get your point. That again, what makes you happy?
My wife, family.
I see.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things make me happy.
Yeah, your wife makes you happy.
Bro.
Looks like
What
the
makes
two.
you happy?
I have a beautiful son, bro. When I look in his eyes, I'm looking at myself,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Tariq is you, bro.
I'm
Except
like,
Tariq has more hair than him.
I
you get
look.
there. Oh.
When I look at my son, I look into my son's eye. Like sometimes I can see myself. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing in this world? It's hard out here, bro.
Tariq is you.
Like, and he doesn't seem to have a clue what's happening.
I don't know.
It's like, yo,
He doesn't pay bills.
you know what?
He doesn't pay bills. He's not
He doesn't pay bills. Like,
Originally,
all he does is run around. He wants you to chase him around the house all the time. It's man, but yeah, and you know, when I look into his eyes, you know, I can see that. You know, you never know love until you have a kid. You know, like, you know you love your wife and everything, but when you have a kid, it's like, it's next level.
It's different.
You know, like, it's crazy what you'll be willing to. I never thought in my life that I would be willing to die for someone, right? And I look at that kid.
Until you had your son.
Charlie.
So you didn't. Okay.
So you didn't think you could die? Okay.
Who?
You could die for. Okay.
Oh, for Mrs. Oh.
Oh yeah.
Hey, that's what I said.
The guy is say.
No. I'm trying to say that. No, you see, you go through phases, right?
Yeah.
You think you die for.
So if we take like 10 bullets for kidney, but we take only 2 for madam.
You bab. Even if I, you see, and that's the thing, right? If I have a boy and a girl, what I'll be willing to do for the girl, I'll not be willing to do that for the boy. It's just what it is. You know, it's fact. So like, there are different levels. Like, you know, I'm willing to die for my wife, but you know, it's like, baby, this one.
I always told my wife, well,
you know,
we are here to have the kids, but I always told her, if they come, I still think I'll choose you. Like, it'll be you and I and them, not them. I don't know how to put it. Like,
no, I get
still
you.
Be the G. She'll still be my G.
Yes.
Before them, and it will be us and them.
I should be.
Like, that is how I see it. Like, it's always going to be her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was telling her she's going to be the one to betray. Between she and I, she'll betray.
She'll dog you for them.
She'll dog you for them.
That's your fear.
But I've got it's not my fear. I know. I told her I've got her back. I understand she'll dog me, but I still don't feel like I love that.
No, I love that.
Yeah,
no, like true.
I know you. They'll take the time, attention, and everything.
It's happening.
I got you.
There are moments where I'll call my wife and say, have you forgotten you have a husband or what? Anyway, all of this, once again, Achu cannot relate.
Oh.
You see the problem?
It's okay. Let the young man breathe.
How did you jump from what makes me happy to what you want to make me happy?
Actually, it's related.
It's related.
No, it's not.
It's not. Hasty conclusion.
It is not.
Okay, there's there are lots of messages here. Okay, there's a situation, a lover boy pound. He talks a lot about his wife.
Hey, my wife.
That is so sweet. Keep it up. That's Cove Town Babe. I've got a message that says, bro, an illegality is an illegality, whether microscopic or not. Alvarez touched the ball twice. It was so clear. I saw it straight from my room. Up next, we face Arsenal. Courage in Koforidua with that message. I've got another one.
10 minutes or so, I saw the touch.
Yeah. This one says, I'm listening to you live. Greetings to my dear friend Nana Ifia Lizzie. The student inside Garden City University. This is a message from Osemenu Sentence.
Keep
inside
working, my brother. Keep
Fumiswa
working.
In Kumasi.
Keep working, my brother. Keep working.
He's listening to us in Kumasi. He's working hard. Don't worry. It's okay. All right. Lots of more messages here. This one says, hey, sportsman 10 home affairs 4.
We know where that one is coming from.
And then it says, okay. I think you sent me a sporty message as well. Okay, all right. No, we have turned into home affairs people. All right. Fent, the Swimming Association and the other federations must check their constitution again. The sports law allowed the NSA to send general secretaries to these federations on secondment so they can help them organize their books. But the federations insisted on their independence and kicked these secretaries out. Mm-hmm. We can't blame the NSA all the time. But here's the question, though. If you ask the NSA to send, do they have enough secretaries to send to all these 46 federations that they have?
I don't think that's what she was talking about.
But even that,
she was talking about the expertise.
Yes.
On swimming.
Yes.
In NSA.
But even on that same point, Rexanko mentioned something that answers your question about a lot of the federations being Accra federations and not necessarily national federations because they have no base in any of the other regions. They have no operations, nothing. Their only presence is in Accra, and majority of their activities are directly linked to foreign travels.
Give us money. We are going to Morocco for competition.
So if you look through all of the specifications, all of the requirements that should make in national federations. A lot of these federations will not even meet it. So they will automatically cancel themselves from the line and should cease to exist.
All right, listen, guys. Let's talk quickly about the Black Stars squad. It's out now. I've gone through the squad for the purposes of emphasis. Let me just mention the squad again, and then you tell me your impressions about the squad and what do you think, what you've learned from the last few months since the AFCON debacle. And it's been a long last few months, to be honest. Lawrence Atizigi, 3 goalkeepers: Joseph Wollacott, Benjamin Asare. The defenders are Kamaruddin Mahmoudou of Mediama, Kingsley Schindler of Samsunspor in Turkey, Razak Simpson of Nations FC here in the Ghana Premier League, Jonas Ajeti of FC Basel, Alexander Jiku of Fenerbahce, Mohamed Salisu of AS Monaco, Ebenezer Annan of Red Star Belgrade, and Gideon Mensah of AJ Auxerre. The midfielders are Thomas Partey of Arsenal, Elisha Owusu of AJ Auxerre, Abu Francis of Cercle Brugge, Kudus Mohammed of West Ham United, and Enes Nyama of Olympique Lyonnais. He scored in his last 2 matches. The forwards are Anton Semenyo, having a season of his life at AFC Bournemouth. Kamaldeen Sulemana of Southampton is back from injury. Jordan Ayew of Leicester City is also in the squad. Jerry Afriye, he just made a move to CD Lugo in Spain. Inaki Williams of Athletic Bilbao, and Christopher Bonsuba of Genk in Belgium also makes the squad. Sichove, quick thoughts. Any major surprises there? The balance of the squad?
Yeah, no real major surprise. The only surprise would be the obvious that wasn't going to happen, but many thought might sneak in.
Andre Ayew snapped.
The Black Star captain, Andre Ayew. He snubbed. Yeah, because he's played well. He's done whatever any other player a Ghanaian could do to earn a collar, but it's just a personal decision from the coach to move on from him, and I respect that. You see that in football, where there are some experienced heads, good players, but managers just want to move on from certain people and create a new atmosphere. So that was the only name that was coming up, and many thought maybe we could invite him back to the team. The answer has been no. Other than that, I think there are no surprises, and it's just about the strongest the coach could have put together. Any other player could have been just a subjective opinion of others. I'm not sure there is any controversy anywhere, especially having also communicated the players that they have consulted or they have contacted but are injured, likes of Tariq Lamptey, Majida Shimiru, which means that they were in the thinking, but because of their injuries, they couldn't make it to the team. So yeah, I think it's.
This is literally one of those squads that had nothing to talk about,
to be fair to Otto,
except to wish them well, right?
Yeah. To be fair to Otto, since he took the job, he's barely had named the squad that has brought about any controversy or whatsoever.
Unlike Siki.
Yeah,
Siki, I've mentioned your name.
Even
Good afternoon.
Siki now, if he names correct, they mention the names, I'll be distressed because it'll be right up. But
Siki did some things.
Yeah, he knows his place, he's not distressed.
Let me find out audio.
He go bad and I go say,
Christian Paris.
So yeah, we wish Otto well because it's a crucial doubleheader. Or it's a crucial 2 games that he's got. And it's on paper, it is the best possible fixtures that he could have got.
Yeah.
Chad at home and Madagascar away. If he gets those 6 points, he puts Ghana in a very good place to secure a place for the next World Cup in the US and Mexico and Canada. The AFCON disaster is gone. And credit to Otto, when he took over the job, it was the World Cup qualifiers really that brought about the hope that many thought that he could go on and do it in the AFCON, and he failed because he won two straight games to bring Ghana back to the fore. And so he needs to win these 2 games. It's not about, in these 2 games, for me, really, it's not about how well the team plays. It's not about
3 points.
The coordination and blah, 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 and all of that. In football, there are times where all you need is the results. And this is the moment where all Otto Addo needs is the results. It's been months since the AFCON disappointment. Now he's got an opportunity to make up for that disappointment. And luckily for him, almost all his key and important players have been delivering week in, week out for their clubs. All of them have been delivering. Almost all his important players have been delivering. And they look sharp, they look fit. It's now time for him to put them together and get us the result that perhaps puts us in a good place or pool to go into the World Cup.
DK?
Yeah, obviously, as a squad for just 2 games, a double header, I think it's good enough. Obviously, it's a bit light in some positions. If you look at central midfield, it's a bit light. But as I said, it's 2 games and it should suffice. It's Partey, Abu, and then Elisha Owusu. That should be enough for 2 games at home against Chad and away against Madagascar. So aside that, I don't think we have any real issues. And I tweeted it, to be frank, it's not really about who is called up under Otto. As Sichu said, he's named pretty good squads over the past few months that he's been in charge. In fact, it's a year now since he's come back. If you remember, it was a March international window last year where he took over from Chris Hughton, and I think he needs to channel that spirit again. His first 2 competitive fixtures where we went away against Mali, beat them, came home against Central African Republic and won. I think we need that sort of spirit again. And to be frank, I think the players are trying as much as possible to put behind what happened in the AFCON qualifiers. They themselves are not happy. Obviously, the coaching staff are not happy. And Otuado needs these 2 wins. He needs it badly, and Ghana really needs it. So, again, I side with Sicho. It's not necessarily about the performance. I would not really care how well or how bad we play. I just want the team to win. And winning is a habit. Look, if you play poorly and you win, it's way better than playing well and losing.
Of course.
We saw the team at home against Sudan where we created chance after chance after chance, still didn't win the game. And there were people who were very dissatisfied. So that thing where people talk about performances, if you win over a certain period of time and it's becoming a habit, nobody's really going to look at performances. And I think where the team has reached, it's not about how well they play. They just need to win. They need to know that there's some certain luck behind them where they can get the result. And that is very important. And as Citro has said, look, the best possible fixture list on paper is what we have now. At home against Chad and away against Madagascar. It's really important for the team to put behind what happened last year and then get back to winning ways. Hopefully get this. And if you look at the fixtures that Comoros have, there's a high chance that if we get 6 points, we will be on top of the table by the end of this window, which is what we want. Obviously, this group stage is not the end of the qualifiers. After this, we'll still go and play a playoff. But it's better to be part of the playoff than to be kicked out at this point. So these 2 games are really important, and I wish the team all the best.
Achu, thoughts on the 2 matches and the squad, if any?
I think it's a fairly good squad. I was thinking maybe we could have seen 1 or more central midfielders in the team, but the question I also asked myself was who, if not these 3, or who else could we have drafted into that team? Perhaps it also gives a sense of what Otto's thinking is. We may be seeing the back 3 again. We may be seeing 2 in the middle again. So, and generally, just as Danny and Situ have indicated, our problems we've never really had issues with the pool of players that he picks from. What has been problematic is the fact that for a long time, and in the year that Otto has been around, we have not only looked completely disfigured, we have looked significantly worse with each passing game. And this has been a period where almost all of our key players have been doing very well at club level, right? So, yes, just like now, they've always come into the national team on the back of a very good form. Be it Bilbao, Bournemouth, West Ham, wherever, irrespective of the league, our players just seem to be able to find their rhythm when they are not in the national team. So I'm not too excited about this because our players are doing well because, as I've said, we've seen this before. What has been missing is that chemistry in the national team, that culture, that atmosphere in the team that allows players to be themselves, that allows players to focus, where there are no distractions, where the focus purely is on the technical aspects, putting the players in the right frame of mind, creating an enabling environment for them to go out there and then be themselves. We haven't had that. Every now and then it's this person giving speeches. Every now and then it's reports of players not being happy about this or that. Those are the things that Otto needs to confront. And from Sunday evening, from Monday when the players start reporting to camp, the players will be looking out to see if anything is going to change in terms of the team's itinerary, in terms of how their schedule is.
All the
what they
assurances
do.
he gave them when he traveled.
And not just Otto.
Yeah.
There's a new government in. They would also want to align with the Black Stars. They would want to associate with them. We need to be careful how we expose the new minister to the team. Yes, the games are important, but the sports minister doesn't need to go and visit the team.
No.
I've never agreed with the idea that whenever a national team is traveling, the players have to go and meet the president or they have to go and meet the sportsman.
I think that happens for tournaments. That's okay.
But it's not even important. Look, you
Is it only tournaments?
Really?
When ex-vice president Baumia
went to give them the money.
the promise that he will build a new stadium for them.
it
was it
Kumasi.
tournament?
No, it wasn't.
It was a qualifier.
It was a qualifier. For me, there has to be a certain prestige attached to these offices. When you are going there with something to show. So maybe
there has to be a reason for it.
Has to
not
be a
just
reason.
show your face.
Not just that, we came to say goodbye and seek your blessings. That one, the NSA boss, the GFA president, can meet the team at the airport or when everything is done. On the day the team is leaving.
The over-familiarization is what's breeding the content as well.
Yeah.
The contempt.
So it gets to a point where nobody respects you again.
Yeah.
Look, let us show ourselves to be different. And you see, Otto is the one in charge. In the past year, he has seen how bad some of these things have affected the team, right? So all of those things are important. Then there is the technical aspect of it, the coaching. We can't seem to, for me, I don't think this team is capable of playing bad and winning. I mean, if you look at the sort of teams that
to win, they have to play well.
They have to play well. Because one, public confidence in the team is at an all-time low. Yes, you might be able to get a win or two, but for a long time, we've not managed to get consecutive wins, and we need consecutive wins in this particular fixture. Every time we talk about the team and, as for these sets of fixtures, they are manageable. But
there's some way.
Chad and Madagascar are exactly the sort of teams that we have failed to beat. In fact,
no, you're right. You're right.
In our last meeting against Madagascar, we drew.
Yeah.
When we played Comoros, the last two times we faced Comoros, we haven't won a game. We lost one, and then we drew one.
We lost both.
We lost both. Yes.
We lost both.
Yeah, they beat us.
First World Cup qualifier. We lost one.
We lost, and then we lost.
We lost the AFCON
as well. Central African Republic. We've had challenges with them. Angola.
But we won.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
But I said we had challenges with them.
It took a Jordan hat.
And then there was the Angola game. We all know what happened last year in the qualifiers. Sudan, Niger. Games that we thought were manageable. Yeah. So look.
Players who can't even play in the UFC meters.
Sure. So I'm not very excited. We've been here before. But the good thing, just like Yampofuankra said yesterday, is we know what the problems are.
Oh, by the way, congrats to him, You NSA boss.
Yeah.
Yampofuankra.
Yeah. If we want to effect the change, let it show in our attitude and our approach towards it. We can only wish the team the best of luck and hope that the access they are giving the fans from Monday, it does them some good because it's very important.
So Victor Achutamaklo with his thoughts there here on Game Plan 99.7 Joy FM is the dial. Also 103.9 Hits FM is live there. Proudly brought to you by Petrosol and Betway. Let me tell you about this. We are going to the Volta region. Joy FM, the super station, is going to the Volta region for an adventure. Yeah. So listen. We are going, and it's just for 3,500 Ghana cedis. You will get to experience the Pando zip line. If I pronounce something wrong, correct me. We're going to the Pando zip line.
Yep.
And Tafe Atome, Monkey Sanctuary.
Tafe Atome.
Thank you. Mount Gemi.
Yeah, Mount Gemi.
Amejofe Waterfalls. Amejofe Waterfalls.
You say it was Mount what?
Mount
what?
Canopy Walk, among others.
No, that's the name. Wait.
No, I want you to say it.
No, mention the name.
No, you say it.
No, he mentioned it and I pronounced it in the
Yeah, he said Mount Gemi.
No, let him pronounce it.
Mount Gemi.
Mount Gemi.
Mount Gemi.
Lexus, have you heard?
Yeah.
Lexus, they do two no like he was teaching me how to.
Why did you say it was Mount Gemi?
As I just spelled it. I said I didn't want to, but when you say Big Gemi.
Lexus is a Kumasi boy, so you are even lucky that he didn't say Mount.
Yeah.
pause.
Pause. Yes. Anyway, we are going to all those places. And this 3,500 cities includes your transportation costs, meals, all tours, and a 2-night stay at the Plage Volta Serene Hotel with Bobobo experience, variety
Volta
of
Serene
local
is beautiful.
dishes, nightclub session with DJ Black, movies, a cruise on the Dodi World, lunch and entertainment, all of that for 3,500 Ghana cedis. So join the trip. It's on the 21st, from 21st to 23rd of March. Yeah, 21st to 23rd March. So just send a Momo. Send the Momo. No hidden cost too. No hidden cost.
Friends, you ask him the meaning of what he just said.
No, I'm not interested.
You think every listener is an ever? You think every listener is an ever to understand what he just said?
Did what he said?
He said it in ever.
What did he say?
He said, I'm a shaman.
There are 2 ever people here, so you can translate.
You want to translate the thing, so
translate the thing.
Yes.
So what did he say?
Everyone should do well so that we go. All of us, we're going together.
Okay. And how do you say it?
I'm a shaman.
I'm a shaman.
Yes. Everyone.
Yes. Go on.
Neje Gbagba.
Neje Gbagba.
Yes, but in pronouncing it, you Neje Gbagba.
Neje Gbagba.
Na miayi.
Na miayi. Na yanko.
Yes. So
yes, that one I understand.
It was the last word remaining, so we knew.
Anyway, so if you want to go, just send your Momo to 059 303 8842. 059 303 8842. The Momo name on it is Daniel Boyfu. When you are sending the money, kindly reference your full name. Then you take a screenshot and then send to the same number after payment on WhatsApp, okay? The closing date for payment is 18th March 2025. And so much is happening because Wooding are sponsors, and Wooding are saying that buy 3 or 4 ready-to-wear clothes or 18 yards of fabric and get free fabrics. Vibe Ghana, Vibe Wooding, and then there's Serene Insurance. They are also sponsors, the new face of insurance, and then Ekumfi Fruits and Juices, nature's best healthy choice. And then the Volta Adventure, experience it joyfully. And they are sharing Ekumfi Fruit Juice throughout the whole trip, free, all as part of it. So that is all pretty amazing, right? Pretty amazing. Also, if you want to refresh yourself with lunch, bitter malt, it's amazing for you. Enjoy the rich taste of 100% true malt today and get yourself a bitter malt. You go with that amazing lunch. That's banku and pepper and fish, or that hot wachi. The best Ghanaian meals are best enjoyed with bitter malt. Bitter malt. Enjoy it and discover the rich taste of 100% true malt today. All right. Now, also, Beyond the Walls is here. Have you ever set foot inside a prison before, Sicho?
No.
I have.
On a tour?
No, my classmate used to work as a prisons officer, so I used to visit him a lot at the maximum security prison at, what's it called? The place in the Central Region.
Central Region?
Yeah, it's in the Central Region. The only prison there in the Central is the maximum security, or was it? How have I forgotten? Then he quit the job. And that's the last time that I was there. Anyway, do you know did you know that some prisoners fear freedom more than confinement, dreading the stigma that awaits them outside? And is it really true that presidential amnesty is reserved only for the powerful and privileged? Well, this March, prepared to be shaken as Image Bureau, April Communications, and Joe FM in partnership with the UN family in Ghana and led by the Joint United Nations Program on HIV and AIDS bring you Beyond the Walls, a gripping George Quay original play directed by Na Ashoko. So come see the insides of the Nsawan female prison live at the National Theatre on Saturday 29th and Sunday 30th March 2025 at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. each day. Tickets are selling now and fast. It's a cool 200 Ghana cedis. Go to imagebureaugh.com to buy one or dial *714 *46 hash. *714 *46 hash. Beyond the Walls is a powerful story of stigma, redemption, and second chances. It will move you, challenge you, and change the way you see the world. Do not miss it. For enquiries, please call 055 1313134. 055 1313134. Proudly supported by Knee Plants Car Rentals, Ghana Tourism Authority, the Ghana Publishing Company, Aquaba Mineral Water, and brought to you by UNESCO, Stanbic Bank, Joy FM, and the UN family in Ghana.
Someone sent a message and said the name of the place is Ankafo Prison.
Yes, Ankafo. Thank you very much. Our listeners are so helpful, so useful. Ankafo.
Yeah.
Big shouts to Machato Daniel.
That's the guy.
Yes, that's my classmate.
Right.
By the way, so Machato Daniel left Ghana Prison Service to go and work at GIG, at the Public Affairs Directorate. And then former President Nana Addo appointed him as regional minister for OT region.
Oh, that's him.
Right.
That's the guy. And when he became regional minister, he stopped answering my calls. So, Machato, now, what's up? Right now, you text me and call me a foolish boy. Oh, God. Anyway, it was just a joke. He answers my call every time. But it's crazy because the last government, I had 3 classmates that were ministers.
Yeah, Minister of Information.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Fatima. Fati was my classmate.
Yeah.
And Machato, and all of us sat in the same class at Lagos. Level 100, level 200. Then Machato ran away from the English department and went to finish with history. He couldn't. Machato kill me today.
Expect his call after the show.
Yeah, but Fati finished. Fati finished. She went through with it. And that's why she became information minister. Yeah, anyway. So that's that. So let's move it on then. Guys, Ishmael Yamsing, an associate, is announcing a business roundtable 2025. Every year, thousands of Ghana's brightest minds seek better prospects abroad, leaving a gap in our workforce. How can Ghana inspire its talent to stay? Well, join David Ofosudote, Professor Mary Sitrana, and H.E. Dr. Amina Gurib Fakim, former president of Mauritius, Her Excellency, that is, at the 12th edition of the Ishmael Yamsing and Associates Business Roundtable to discuss managing the talent exodus, leveraging private-public partnerships for growth at the Labad Beach Hotel. It's at 9 a.m. on the 7th of May, 2025. To register your attendance, text your name and organization to 0530 117202 or just email info@ieyamsing.com. All right, guys. Did it touch his foot or did he not touch his foot? Now, that's the question. To be or not to be. UEFA have been forced to release video evidence that his left foot touched the ball before the kick. And I'm referring to the penalty shootout in the Champions League round of 16 game between Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid. Real Madrid eventually, of course, won that penalty shootout after Julian Alvarez scored what looked like a perfect penalty until VAR intervened and said there was a double kick. And a double kick is against the rule. You can only touch the ball once. And there have been instances where VAR has intervened to overrule or disallow incidents of double touch. But the question really, there are 2 questions to be fair. One is, did he really touch the ball per the evidence that's been released? The second question is, should such a touch, or should the law be amended? Let me put it that way, because if that is the law, then a touch, however minute, is a touch, and it should be disallowed. But is it a very stupid law that has to be changed or thrown away? Guys, Sicho, first of all, where do you stand? People say it's a big machination, Real Madrid are just being favoured, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's been a long week.
Yeah, look, I think he got a touch on the ball. And the rule is the rule, as you said. Is it fair? I don't think it is. Should they review it? Yes, they should. What was the thinking behind the double touch thing? It was always about players not being able to take a touch and dribble past the goalkeeper. So it's a one-time shootout. Or players not being able to disguise their effort by kicking it against the other leg deliberately. But if a player is slipping into the ball and is touching it ever so slightly like that, there is absolutely no way the player is deliberately trying to cut the keeper off guard. But then when you also don't make it blankets, then it becomes a subjective matter for referees to decide what was deliberate and what was not. I think that is why he made it blanket. but now they have to go and rethink it. That what happens if that incident happens? But I get it. If the offender is the player who has double touched the ball, it cannot be a disadvantage to the goalkeeper or to the team that offender has made that incident against. So in the case of Real Madrid, you can't ask Julian Alvarez, who has offended them, to have a retake. Right?
No. Yeah, that argument is very backward.
Yes. So
it's just basically people who don't understand
absolutely
the law.
So you can't do that, because in the same way,
because a double touch favors the taker.
It favors the taker.
So if you get a double touch and it is allowed, you should not be allowed to take it. I think the only valid argument would be a goalkeeper leaving his line favors the goalkeeper, and yet they're allowed to retake it. But they're only allowed to retake it because when they miss.
So because the keeper is the offender. Yeah. So when the player scores, you don't put the player at a disadvantage to take the player through the risk of the penalty taking.
Exactly.
So it goes on.
Yeah.
However, if the goalkeeper makes the save, then the player gets a second chance. Yeah. To make amends. So
and in that case, the advantage is for the taker
who missed, not the
goalkeeper.
Keeper is the offender. Yeah. So I think they can relook at it. It was very unfortunate for Atletico Madrid. I think I've seen the footage. There are several angles. Some angles tell you there was no touch. The other angle that says there was a touch. The angle that UEFA released looks like there was the touch, even though it was ever so slightly. But yeah, the rule is the rule. The referee is not his fault. He had to apply the rule. But the question then is the rule still relevant as it is molded in today's football? I think it's no.
And UEFA themselves said it. Can you imagine? They said that maybe IFAB.
Yeah, they have to have a meet with them and they realize it. But there are many rules in sports that until they are really tested, you don't see them to revisit it. Exactly. And this one is being tested on the biggest of stages. Yeah. It's a huge game. Madrid derby, plenty at stake, lots of money at stake, lots of things at stake, and that rule in the end come back to haunt Atletico Madrid, so they'll have to rethink it.
Yeah. DK, your thoughts on that?
I didn't see a double touch.
Okay.
I didn't see.
No, DK, and that was on, and you were watching on TV. Now, the referee who was there, didn't see double touch.
He didn't see.
Thank you.
It took VAR looking at some imaginary images.
Thank you very much.
To rule it against Atletico Madrid. I didn't see a double touch. But so that's answering your first question.
Yes.
I didn't see it, and I thought it was a very dishonest move by the VAR. But question number 2, I think it needs to be reviewed. And I don't agree with the fact that a double touch, if you give a retake for a double touch, is an advantage to the player. It is an accidental double touch. And you see,
okay,
the accident, the accidental double touch was caused by the pitch. We've seen players deliberately mess up the penalty spot to cause things like this.
Can I ask you a question?
We see. Don't ask me anything.
He slipped twice. Atletico Madrid scored. Would you have said that because of the pitch that caused him to slip, the ball should be brought back because he slipped? We saw in Benjamin Mendy, and Atletico Madrid almost went on to score. It was accidental.
That's different. He didn't cause a rule break. Next time he should change his stats. Look, the issue here is a penalty shootout. Okay, in fact, during the Vinicius' penalty save, if you look at it closely, he had a slight misstep and he hit it over. But that's besides the case. If he had hit a double touch, I could have made a case for him. But the issue here is it is an accidental slip. He didn't intentionally hit it twice. Mm-hmm. Okay, in such an instance, you can't punish him for slipping and hitting it twice, because we can even argue that where he wanted the ball to go to, that's not where he wanted it. It's because of the accidental slip that caused it. So you should give a retake. And you see, it's not an advantage to anybody. It's only fair. It's only fair that you do that, because again, there are several instances where we've seen players deliberately mess up the penalty spot because they know that this rule exists, and they know that if the player slips or if he slips, has a misstep and he double touches, it goes against the
or
kicking.
He can slip and miss.
Like
man, you did to John Terry.
John Terry should have touched the thing. Everybody was that day was raining. It's not anybody's fault, and they had just relayed the pitch. If you remember the night before, but look. It's not fair. It's not fair at all. And I was chatting with Sijo off air. Look, some of these rules, you never really see how painful or how unfair they are until they manifest in real life situations. Yeah. And that's why sometimes when it comes to the implementation of these rules, I don't think IFAB does a good job. You should test it over a period or test it in these sub competitions. Let us see whether this thing makes sense or not in real life situations, so that when it happens, then we know that this thing is fair or it's not fair, or this rule makes sense or it doesn't make sense. You see it at the start of the season where they make rule changes. Then in the first 2-3 months of the season, all the referees are following the new rule, and they see that it's complete nonsense. Then by December to the end of the season, now the same thing they say that don't kick the ball away. Have you seen somebody getting a yellow card for kicking the ball away? They don't do it again because you see that it doesn't really make sense.
Look at the handball rule.
Look at the handball.
The last 5 years, it's been changed like
changing it time and time and time again, and it always takes some controversial. Look, it just takes some controversial situation for it to manifest, which is very unfair. So for me, I think that look, they need to look at the rule again. And secondly, it was very unfair and very dishonest by VAR because the ball didn't touch Alvarez's leg twice.
Okay.
It did not. What's funny? When Cicho said the ball touch, you didn't laugh. You see, it's not nice.
Question. Oh, hold on. Cicho, did the ball touch? Did he touch the ball twice?
You've already asked him.
You've already asked him.
Why you?
No.
You've already asked
He wants to laugh so that he wants to laugh so that.
Sorry.
Yes, please. All squared.
Sasa.
You are very dishonest.
Cicho, sorry. Actually, I don't know. Bring some nuance into it. I want us to talk about Arsenal.
It didn't touch him. It didn't touch his foot twice. You see, I'm going to add to what Daniel said.
Okay, go on.
Beyond players trying to mess up the penalty kick spot, opposing players have now seen it and have realized that if IFAB is not going to do anything, they will adjust. So do you know what players do these days? Mm-hmm. When a penalty kick is awarded, two things happen. Someone goes to take the ball. Another person goes to protect the spot.
All right.
So yesterday, Mazraoui, and you've seen the images all over. When Man United had their second penalty, he went to go and protect the spot so that the Real Sociedad players will not come and stomp their feet on the penalty spot to mess it and potentially cause a slip or Bruno skying the effort. And this is something that we see every time there is a penalty awarded. Wherever there is a dispute over it and it's not going to be taken straight away, so players go there too. It clearly tells you there is a defect with the implementation of the law. And here's what I say to those.
Should it be universal? Okay, go.
Here's what I say to those who say that, but if you order a retake, you are given an advantage. It is not. If you order a retake, you are only recreating the original conditions for a penalty, which is same distance. The goalkeeper is allowed to stand anywhere on the line, at least 1 foot. The player has the same, when the whistle goes, is the same run-up. It is the same. And for me, I don't think there can be any justification for reversing the outcome of a spot kick that has entered the net.
Oh wait, but no, when the okay,
this was
for when it's entered the
yes, net. There can be no justification for reverse. They didn't strike it out. But if goalkeepers, even when they deliberately move off their line, you don't reverse the outcome. When the player misses it, or when the
player misses it,
you don't reverse the outcome. You strike it out
and then let them retake.
Yes, but when someone accidentally scores via the double touch, you don't strike it out. You reverse it.
You reverse it and say it's what.
The rule doesn't make amends for accidental. It's a blanket rule. That's why I say it needs a change. So when you introduce accidentally,
but
no. He's saying that when the keeper comes out of his line or comes off his line and saves the penalty, you strike out the outcome. You don't reverse it. You strike it out and give a retake. But when somebody has a double kick and scores, that one you don't strike it out. You say it's a.
In our situation, they said it was he had missed.
Guys, hold on. Some people have questions here. Friend, ask Daniel where the unfair is. That the player double touch a penalty that scored, or that he could have missed with a single touch.
But I clarified, they asked two questions. I said the first one, he didn't double touch. So don't ask me if there's a double touch.
I've got another question here. This one says, Sam in Taboro says, Good afternoon, Joy Sports. Please, what about the Real Madrid penalty that was denied, the Vinicius one?
It wasn't a penalty. That was too close.
Okay.
His son was around him and it wasn't a penalty.
Question answered. I've got another one here. This one said, Daniel is wrong. Please, players get sent off for accidental fouls all the time. And even accidental handballs are awarded penalties.
I didn't, no. I didn't say players. I was making a specific rule about intentionally kicking the ball away after the whistle. We've seen a decline in yellow cards since the opening 3 months of the season.
When you guys said accidental slip, and I'm saying that
courage.
Players have gone. Like, people get red card for accidental.
Okay, guys, we don't have time.
If a referee has an outrageous interpretation of the law, how does that become a reference point?
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hold on. Sika Togo from UG says Danike just wants Salah to win the Ballon d'Or, so he wants Madrid.
I want Mbappe to win the Ballon d'Or. So how do I want Salah to win?
Okay, I've got one last message about the rule. He says the law that ruled out Alvarez's penalty kick must be removed from the UEFA book. Papa Tieku, he sent us that particular message. And I've got another message from Koftan Babe who says that why are we always worrying Achu? She's packaging a wife for him. Interesting.
Quick.
I forgot that Ghana is not going to the AFCON. So which AFCON is Kamaldeen going to break the record?
World Cup. The prophecy. Cup. Stop misquoting the prophet. He said the World Cup.
Lee Tojo from Tema says, I hope for the best for Ghana sport. Discipline is the key here.
Charlie Fent, quick shout out to Viva Yogo guy at PJ. Viva Yogo guy.
Yogo
today is his birthday.
Okay.
Today is his birthday.
PJ,
yeah.
Big shout.
Viva Yogo guy.
Birthday.
Yeah.
Arsenal Chelsea.
Nah, your match.
People are reading the Carabao Cup. You are talking about
Sunday, we are going to pit stop. That's why we are watching them. But the Premier League trophy is in Accra.
Yeah.
Premier League trophy is in Accra.
I'll touch it before Ateta.
Thank you guys. Sicho, Daniel, Achu, Muftar, Nabila, Abdullah. My name is Fentio Tahiru Fentio. This has been another episode of Game Plan. We are very grateful that you could join us here as always. We're back next Friday at 1:15 p.m. Until then, do take care of yourself and bye-bye. Up next is BBC.